Welcome back to Conscious Evolution. I'm AJ. I'm joined today with Bonesy. Many of you may be familiar with him. He is, I've been following his channel. I found him as soon as I started my channel. We all kind of met through Case, and he had a video talking about his reconnection, and I was looking into getting a reconnection, and I just kind of stumbled across one of his videos, and we just kind of hit it off since then, and we've been really helping each other out a lot. So, I got this Zoom set up, and we're creating this show. So our show is going to be called Behind the Veil, and I'm super excited about it. And meet Bonesy.
What is happening? What is up, people? I'm excited too, man. We've been bouncing these ideas off each other. I'm really digging that.
Hell yeah.
So, hopefully we can bring something, to the table. So,
yeah, I'm pretty sure we can bring some value to people, especially anyone that's just starting off in this journey. There's so much information out there that's a lot of just junk. It's a lot of garbage, really. I mean, there's a lot of good information too, but when you're starting out, you really just don't.
You don't know which way to go.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, what am I trying to say? I want to have good information that brings value to people either starting or, well into their awakening or their journey, their spiritual awakening journey.
Exactly.
We'll call it. Yeah. So what I wanted to do today is I figured we could talk about our experiences, our awakening, how, what triggered it and how we got to where we are now, because if I'm not mistaken, we both are fairly new on this journey, with inside a year into this. And, I feel like we've both come so far so fast. And, I think that's encouraging in itself that we've only, 5-6 months to a year, and we're already at this point.
yeah, exactly.
So I think I remember kind of your story. I know it has a lot to do with numbers, which is absolutely fascinating to me. But if you don't mind, take us through maybe when you realized what sparked that idea in your mind that got you going down this path.
Well, actually, what had happened is my uncle. I don't know. I talked about it in one of my videos. Like I had this. It was right on my birthday, my 54th birthday, which was 2017 September, and I had just got a call. Found out my uncle had shot himself in the head. He had a brain tumor, and he couldn't deal with the pain anymore, and so he went out. And so the whole family was going to go up there. My dad went up there. He ended up coming up missing, and had a silver alert. This all happened on my birthday. This all happened in one night. Jeez. And he hit a telephone pole and all this shit. So we all go up there, and the whole family. I had a cousin came up from Texas. Her name's Christina, and I was leaving, and she put her hand on I put my hand on her shoulder, told her bye, and she asked me if I ever heard of the Mandela effect. And I never had. And long story short, I came home, started doing some research, and I started freaking out because, I found out that my memories, some of my memories were not what other people's memories were. And then I had no one to talk to, man. I started all my friends that I talked to and questioned, none of them, could relate to it. They all had, different memories and this and that. And I was feeling really, really alone. And after about a month of just being on the internet and trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this, and everybody, of course, is pointing to CERN and the Hadron Collider and all that negative shit and this and that. And then I ran across Case, You Can't Handle the Truth. And, man, it just light went off in my head. And he started talking about how you can create your own reality. He's talking about Greg Brayton, Bruce Lipton. He started talking about a movie called What the Bleep. And, of course, that started my journey. And then, you know, here I am, you know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is I think all of us that are kind of like this little group, this little tribe that we have here that seems to be kind of tight knit. I think Case is kind of like the common denominator here or something, you know, or it seems like that's sort of how it went. But yeah, so I just like, and then I started, as my consciousness expanded, man, I started learning all kinds of shit about, I mean, everything from physics to, you know, the number thing to sacred geometry, sonic geometry, um, all kinds of stuff. And I was absorbing this like, I mean, I couldn't believe how much information I was actually taking. It was almost like I had 5 or 6 hands with, and each one of them had an open book, you know, and I'm reading all these books all at once. I mean, I was literally absorbing so much, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I was actually understanding most of what I was, you know, finding out. But and like you were saying earlier, you can go down, man, rabbit holes you can go down, you know what I'm saying? So you got to like kind of like keep your compass and kind of, you know, kind of keep in the direction you're going. Don't get all too often scattered around, because who knows where you'll end up, man. You know, Bigfoot or something, you know, or somewhere, you know. But, yeah. So and what's weird is that I got to where I was vibrating. Like, I mean, I was seeing, like, I got to vibrating so much that I think that you know, I was like had one foot in the spirit realm and one foot in, you know, in this realm, and I was like, I was actually seeing entities, you know, and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, I wasn't really ready for it, you know, I wasn't really ready for that. But shortly after that, my back, I blew my back out and had to have emergency surgery on it, and that slowed everything down, man. At my vibration, you know, where I was like, I was literally from head to toe just vibrating, pulsating, and I was like boiling hot. I could go outside. It was cold, man. I could go out in shorts. I mean, I was boiling. And I could go up to my wife and just put my hands up close to her. And she's like, oh, God. I mean, it was like an iron. I was just boiling, man. But like I say, my back went out. That threw everything off, killed her. And after the surgery, it's taken me several months, you know, to get right back to where I was. That only took just a few months to get there. But you know, I'm back on track and everything's going good. So, but that's kind of a short version how I got where I'm at. You know what I mean? That it was the Mandela effect that just rattled me awake. You know, that's my you know, my little example would be like if your wife wakes you up in the middle of the night and she's shaking you, says somebody's trying to get in the house, somebody's trying to get in the house, and you're like, you know, you're trying to get your bearings about you, you know, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? You're trying to hear shit, you're trying to see shit, your eyes ain't focused yet. It was like that, man. It was like, you know, I was trying to wake up. I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? You know, nobody could tell me, you know. But after, you know, going on YouTube and just kind of like finding different people that I resonate with, and I found that's really the thing is you're going to resonate with some people you're not. You know, you're just going to like that person just for whatever reason you can feel them, you know, and you're like, I'm feeling everything they're saying. I'm understanding the way they're putting it, you know, and this and that. And that helped me a lot. There was a lot of people that helped me. That's one of the reasons I really always show a lot of loyalty to Case, because I feel like he sort of saved my life, because I was like, I was really starting to think I was going nuts, dude. I was really starting to think that I really started thinking I was going nuts, because nobody could tell me anything. You know what I mean? And finally, you know, that dude started making some sense, found him, started making sense, and it wasn't negative. It wasn't dreary. It wasn't the end of the world type shit, you know, because I've had enough of that shit, you know, the fear and the end of the world and the Illuminati. I've had enough of that. I've ate so much of it that I'm just full, you know what I mean? It's like Thanksgiving dinner, you know. I'm just
Yeah,
puking.
right. You know, that's kind of like and I've been saying this a lot lately to, like, you know, people I talk to, and because a lot of them are still on that path. They're still into, you know, the Illuminati, the, you know, the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect can be good and bad, but, you know, mostly it has its own YouTube or on the internet. It's going to be with a negative connotation to it. But
Yeah.
that seems to be the catalyst that wakes people up, that wakes them up to like how corrupt and how backwards everything really is once you
Yeah.
beneath the surface look behind the veil.
Behind the veil, yeah.
and,
Exactly.
and that's a good thing. And then, you know, as long as you get to this point, or you realize that everything's energy, everything's consciousness, or, you know, it's all spiritual, however
Yeah.
you want to look at it, you know, pick the word, fill in the blank, you know,
Right.
insert term here. But ultimately, I think you do get to that point, and that kind of brings you out of that negativity, and then you can get on the path that you're meant
Of
to.
ascension. Of ascension, yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you know, I really believe, and I've seen it, I've been watching it. Your people's reality right now, whatever they choose, whatever hat they choose to put on, it's real, you know, for them right now. I mean, you can really, whatever your belief system, it's unlike the days before. I mean, it's
Yeah.
whatever bus you want to get on, man, it's going to take you where you want to go. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
and I prefer, you know, the path, the higher road. And I also prefer, you know, the path less taken, you know, the one where you got to take a machete and cut your way through it, not that
Yep.
trampled down, you know, trail that you can see, because that's leading you nowhere. I know that for sure. I've been down all those trails, you know.
Yeah.
But
Those are the trails the cattle already made for you.
yeah, exactly. Follow the herd, man. Follow the herd.
Yep.
But yeah, so you know, it's like I really think, like, for people that are just getting started, and if you know, if they're getting to where, you know, they're getting scared, or because I've had a couple different people that I've dealt with that they're, you know, they're not sure what's happening. They're like, oh, you know, a lot of them think, oh, well, I'm leaving God, or I'm leaving this, or I'm leaving that. No. You're getting closer. This is the way. This is the way to get closer, because uh, you know, the other bullshit. I mean, you can just feel it, man. I mean, once you start to become intuitive, and once you, I think you even start to become empathic in a way, but you start to feel the vibes, you start to feel the energy, and you can see that that's not the place to be, man. That negative, you can just tell that's not where you want to be. And that's, you know, I say things, and sometimes I talk about, and it sounds negative about the churches, which they are, you know what I mean? They're pushing the fear agenda, just like the media and everything else. Doctors, they're all behind it. I really believe, man. I just, and it's like the last video I made, man, you need to get happy. You need to get happy quick, because your life literally does depend on it. You know, it's been proven that, well, you can go, we all have experiences with people who are what they call hypochondriacs. People who always think they're sick, talk about being sick. They make themselves sick. They're constantly sick. That's all they think of. Or, you know, the guy who says, oh, it's just my luck. Look at this, just my luck. You know, I don't, you know, I'm always getting shit on this and that, da, 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 da. And it happens every day to them, because that's what they think. That's their mindset.
Yeah.
Then if you know a guy who
Manifesting
believes
that.
he's lucky, yeah, I know guys who think they're lucky, which they are lucky. They go to the horse track over here and make money. You know what I'm saying? But they believe they're lucky, and they are lucky because they believe they're lucky. And
Yes.
it's your belief system right now, man, is critical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with the energies and the light on the planet now is just unlike anything that we have experienced as a human race, not
Right.
just, you know, modern humans and in the history. I mean, and I believe a lot of, you know, Case's story, what he believes also is that the Earth has entered into this new galactic plane, and that
Yes.
has not happened since humans have been alive on this planet.
Right. It
So
was like 250,000. Yeah, it's long, or 25,000 years, something like that. Yeah.
well, it's 200 and some thousand years, I think, or 400.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I was listening to something today.
Yeah, it's a long, long time.
Yeah, so we haven't experienced that yet, and the things that, first off, learning about your true multidimensional self and all that comes along with that is, you know, that's mind blowing in itself. And then learning
Right.
that, you know, we're in this new energy, this new paradigm, this new reality, and we have control over our reality, and our thoughts control, or our thoughts manifest our reality. And even
Yeah.
more than that, you can control your individual reality, but the mass consciousness of the world is
Can
projected
change.
through the masses, like a hive mind, is projected
Yeah.
out, which creates the reality which we all agree on. So
I
that's
truly believe that.
main
Yes.
main reality, and then I guess you can create your little subsections off of that,
Yeah.
with your manifestations. But we're all
Right.
co-creating this planet together, and
Exactly.
the crazy thing is more and more now that science is actually proving this. It's not just fairy tales, and this dude said this,
Right.
this guy said that. It's actual science, and
Right.
you're not going to hear it in the mainstream because they're too busy selling fear. So you have to dig a little deeper. You have to look, beneath the veil again, and
Yeah.
dig a little deeper to find these truths. And that's what I've been saying on my channel a lot, that if you don't know which way is up, you're going to have a hard time discerning the truth. So
Yes.
if it just feels right in your gut, your chakras are picking up energies of, words carry energies. Everything is energy. So
Yeah.
if there's a message that resonates with you, that, trust your instinct. Your instinct
Yes.
is guiding us. You have a team of people, of guides, of entities that is guiding you also. And it's even yourself, your higher self is guiding you. And that is
Yeah.
you. They have a vested interest in you. So, trust your gut. And that, because you got to stop listening to other people. Other people are going to tell you what they think. And, if they're not on this spiritual path, this awakening, they are thinking in the old energies, and nothing that they say is going to help you. It's actually
Right.
you stuck in,
Yeah.
or going backwards,
They
So
don't even know how to take. They don't even know how to take it. I mean,
yeah.
people that I talk to, it's like, I don't know. It seems like to me they just don't even know how to take it. A lot of them just want to laugh at it. You know what I mean? And act like it's some kind of crazy shit, some kind of psychosis type thing or whatever. But I know it's real. I know what's happening. You know what I mean? I'm fully aware, fully awake, fully alert. I know what's up. You know what I mean? And I can feel, and I and I think we're, like you said, when we've moved into that galactic plane, I also think we have access to the light. That's why the healings, I think everybody is, really feeling the energy, and there's this mass movement of healers. It's like healing is like, and even self-healing, because we're in a different position now. But also, what I was going to say is you can feel energy. Like back in the day, just 10 years ago, you would have to, like, let's say you're sitting in a doctor's office or even at a party or wherever, and somebody walks in and you're like, man, I got a bad vibe from this dude. You know what I mean? This dude is about something bad. You just feel that. But it would take a real strong energy, negative energy or whatever kind of energy, if you want to call it negative, whatever you want to call it. But it took something strong for you to feel. Now it doesn't. You can feel so much more. It doesn't have to be that strong. You can actually pick up on things real quick now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just everything's different now. Like he said, we're in this whole different part of the galaxy. Moved into the age of Aquarius. Moved into the golden age, and our DNA. We are literally changing. We're evolving. We're literally evolving. If we're doing in 2030, it's going to be amazing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
10 years from now, it's going to be just, I can only imagine what we're going to be able to do, especially as a mass unit. Because I always believed that those pyramids were built with frequency and intention. I don't know if they chimed a certain frequency, if they brought in a certain frequency, but I believe that if you get enough people together and the energy's right, you can do anything. I'm starting to believe that. I really do.
Well, yeah, I believe you tap into your higher dimensional selves, and we're ascending anyway, so we're already basically in the fourth dimension, or teetering in and out of.
But I'm in and out of it.
Yeah, and
I hate it when I come back to the third. It's like, oh,
yeah, it's really
I feel like carrying this sack around. I feel so much lighter and better. And then the next day or a couple days later, then I'm like back. Like I was telling you, I feel like I'm jumping back in my lower frequency realities, and having to tweak them. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want to get back to that higher vibration.
That's
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
That's it.
And that's exactly what the Mandela effect was the actual, that's the actual evidence that we are jumping through different strands of realities. You know, if you can imagine a rope, if you dissect and look at a rope, all it is just a bunch of strings that have been braided together. And if you can imagine, you know, each one of those strings is a reality. And when they twist, now imagine that rope if you used to coil it. That's where I think we're at. I think if you used to coil it, not only do you have that braided rope where these realities cross each other, now they're crossing crossing each other on the rope. So you can just jump, 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 jump. Eventually you'll be able to move through time, what we call time. I believe. I think so.
Wow, I think a lot of people are doing that already. Little time jumps and things like that. And I also heard something interesting the other day about synchronicities. We're kind of getting a little off topic, but that's all right. That synchronicities is basically how you or, you know, our higher selves or our spirit guides or star being guides, whatever you want to call them, that's how they're programming this new reality, this new world, is through synchronicities. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah,
but it was. I thought it was funny, almost synchronistic that you said about, you know, the activating our DNA strands and things like that, because I just printed out, or I just typed up and printed out, you know, Solomon Speaks, those 6 phrases.
Oh yeah.
You know, and 2 of them are, what you're doing is reconnecting strings, and what you're doing is reconnecting strands. And before that, it says what you're doing is bringing light and information onto the planet. So, yeah, I mean, that's what these frequencies, with this healing that we're working on doing now. You know, what I've been doing for the past month or 2, and it's all connected.
I recommend anybody into healing to read, what is it, The Reconnection by Eric Pearl, and then Solomon Speaks. Mm-hmm. Is that called The Reconnection, the first one? I've got it right here. Here it is. That's it right here.
Yeah, The Reconnection, Heal Others, Heal Yourself. That's right. And then Solomon Speaks Solomon Speaks on Reconnecting Your Life. And then I'm reading Seth Speaks Now, which is like, you know, that's like the next step up in my evolution of book reading here.
Oh,
you know, one of the things you said too about how you had like 5 hands and you're just taking in all this information and you're just powering through it and you're even retaining it, is what I've been experiencing. I just have such a thirst for knowledge that is never quenched, and I remember things. Like, I could read a whole book in school and not remember a damn thing ever.
Yeah.
I didn't care about it. I wasn't interested in it. It was an exercise, you know. Yes. So that it's just amazing to me that drive the information you have for it is so intense and just awesome, man.
Now we have gotten way off topic, so let's get back to what started you on this journey.
Right. So, oh man. Okay, so I had a few. I'll say I had like 2 awakenings, I believe. So the first one, I was really into like aliens, UFOs, and all that stuff, and that slowly progressed into the shadow government and Illuminati and all the same stuff we were talking about a minute ago. And that, you know, opened my eyes to a lot of what was really going on. And like the things that were like proven, like a lot of these documents were released by the government admitting to it, you know, back in the day. Like it's undeniable, but all they got to do is put out a thing on the news stations, because they own and control what the mass population gets to ingest as information. And that's how they control the agenda. And that's how they control our reality, because they force it into your mind. Well, they don't force it because you're willingly accepting it. You know, they tell you the truth and the lie in the same sentence. It's up to you to discern what the truth is. So we've always bought the lie, and that lie is feeding this reality that is what it is today. So, you know, I went down that road for probably a good year and a half to 2 years. And I just kept going. Like I had the same tenacity I have now, but I didn't know what I was looking for. Like I just didn't, I just had to keep digging, and I'd get into a topic, about the moon and the moon bases and so on and so forth. And I would get into that for a month or two or three. And then,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well,
What they're doing on Mars.
yeah, what's next? And then, that kept going and going and going. And one day about, well,
You
let's
probably
see.
watched a lot of David Wilcox.
Yeah. Oh no, who am I thinking of?
I know who you're talking about. The Saturn guy talks about Saturn a lot.
Yeah, David Icke.
David Icke. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started watching some of his videos, but that's just about the Saturn moon matrix and how that all that stuff. Which
he is on to some of the shit.
yeah. Oh,
some
he's
of the
got,
stuff I don't
got
really-
something there for sure.
Yeah.
But, so I lost my train of thought. So yeah, I was going through
little monthly cycles of different flavors.
right, and just keep going and
paranoia.
going. And I didn't know what I was looking for because I never found it because I was still searching and searching and searching. And then I think it was that's where I was going. I had my distance session with Case in the beginning of November. So I'll probably keep shaking this computer here. So I want to say October. It was either September or October of last year. I was at my brother's just sleeping on the couch, and I was falling asleep. And just as I fell asleep, I had this vision, and it was like it jolted me awake. Like I just jumped up, and my ears were ringing really loud, and my heart was racing, and like I didn't even know what happened at first. And once I settled down, that image like came back because it was just like a flash in there really quick, and that image was it was like it was just me like looking down at my hands, and all my fingertips were just lit up of bright balls of light. And like it after that I kept going back. I was like, was I seeing my kids' hands, or was that someone else's hands? And then after a while I was like, well shit, that was me. Like that was my hands all lit up like E.T. with like his E.T. phone home with that one, like every fingertip like that.
Oh no.
So like, what do you do with that?
You ain't got a bag of Skittles.
Like what do you do with that? I heard of Reiki, but I didn't even know what that was at that time.
Right.
So it was crazy.
Now this is this before you got with Case?
Yes.
This is before you done this. Okay.
I learned
so you had never heard of any of that yet?
Mm-mm.
Wow. So that's what led you to looking for it?
Yep. Yep. So, and it was crazy because the next day one of Case's videos showed up in my suggested videos in my news.
No shit. Oh man.
And I clicked on it, and I'm like, this dude looks really familiar. So I couldn't place it for a while, but a little later down the road, I remembered I came across a video of his that I had actually seen before. And that was when he was talking about your higher self. And I actually did a video using his video on one of my early videos. There's a lot of videos in there. But that was the first one I saw, and I listened to it because okay, so right before the vision, I had just shifted my focus to spirituality, trying to learn about the higher self. That's what happened. Okay. So I forgot a part. So one morning, and this is probably a week or two into like getting into learning about the higher self and spirit guides and things like that. I was just really curious about that all of a sudden, which was weird. I don't know what brought that up, but one
your
morning,
higher self.
Yeah, well, yeah, really, yeah. So one morning I was watching. I wonder if it was Case's video too. I bet you it was. I was watching a video, and after that, something like I felt something come into the room. Like I was in the bathroom getting ready to take a shower, and I felt like feeling you get when someone's
Presence.
watching you. You feel it in your energy body, your chakras. You feel that in your gut, in your chest, and your gut when something is near you. And I felt that, and it was like I could see it in my mind, like this entity just came through the wall and was like right in my space all of a sudden, and I felt it. And this was the first time I acknowledged it. I'm like, I feel your presence. I don't know who you are, but I know you're here. And then not a minute or two later, I was being showered with love. Unconditional love is the only way I can describe it. It was such an amazing feeling. It was better than any high that I had ever had. And I was a dope fiend for a better part of a decade.
Yeah.
I'm not getting into that too much, but yeah, I've been through some pretty hairy situations.
Yeah.
And had some pretty crazy highs, So this love was just like, oh my God, I was like so warm and tingly and just like I felt like I was just being embraced and hugged by this being that just came into my space that I couldn't see, hear, feel, or all I could do was sense that he was there. And it just this love. And that was so crazy. And then I'm kind of thinking that maybe that was the activation. You know what I mean? That's what really through whatever plan that I had created for myself for this experience really shifted me into that direction to go down that path. And everything seems to have been extremely accelerated since that point. So then, I saw the vision. The next day I found Case's video, and the first or second video I watched of his, he's talking about light coming out of his hands. And I just had the vision about light coming out of my hands. So I was like, whoa, that's not a coincidence, And that's about the time I started believing there was no coincidences, there's no accidents, everything has a reason, a reason for everything, And that just took off from there, and I started seeking out Case. The crazy thing is, when I learned that he was traveling the country and doing these reconnections, when I contacted him, he had just left New York. So I'm on the East Coast. So that's only a few hours, like 2 hours away from me. That would have been very easy to get to him and have a reconnection done. But he left and he didn't come back, He just kept on going. I kept trying to schedule a reconnection and we just weren't able to do it. So that's when I set up the distance session with him, and that just changed everything. It seemed that
he done New York right after Ohio. Did he do the New York thing right after Ohio? Because I think he kind of came from the West and moved his way east.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you remember the video he done with the little Asian lady that she talked about her job? And yeah, that was in New York. So that might have been about the same time that you're talking about.
So that's right.
I was wanting to say something. Yeah, I had it done in September in Ohio, but I was going to tell you, he's one of the first. Oh, my battery's getting. I'm still good for a minute, but I can go get a cord. But anyway, he's one of the first things I manifested when I was watching him. I watched him. The first time I'd watched him was probably in October, sometime in October, later October, sometime middle of October, 2017. And he briefly mentioned, that he was done reconnections, that he'd done that work. And I was like, this dude he's going to give me my reconnection. I just said that. I said it in my mind. That was one of the first things I got video of me and him when we met in Ohio. And I told him, I said, dude, I said you're going to be the one that done my reconnection, and you're doing it today. And it was just so funny, because I actually spoke that into the universe. And it happened. Because I thought, like I told him, I was like, how the hell am I going to get to Central Mexico? I don't think I can get a passport. You know what I mean? I don't think the government's going to give me one. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. But I knew he was going to do it, But that's crazy, man.
So was Ohio like one of his first stops?
No, he started out in California.
Oh.
And then he moved up, and then he started moving west and ended up in Ohio. Yeah.
And he came all the way east and then went back to the west.
Yeah,
So
he started heading that.
he went
Yeah,
back and forth across the country last year.
yeah, and he left here and went back to Colorado. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
was having all this
Colorado,
synchronicity about
Arizona,
Colorado.
California. That's crazy. I don't understand how people can still like watch cable TV or the news or any of that stuff.
I'm so glad I got away from it. That's something else I was going to tell you. I was on that. You was talking about the Illuminati and all that. I was on to all that, and I was also got sucked into the Nibiru thing. Now, Nibiru was coming in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I prepped. I had this whole room was full of food, ammo. I mean, you name it. I was ready, for the end of the world to come. Let my bills go. All kinds of shit. It didn't come. I was like, oh, hell no. That's when I lost cable. I was like, I had to pay everything else. My property taxes were backed up. I told her because that's all I talked about. I was in it. I was like,
dude,
so
yeah. I didn't talk about that because that's a slippery slope to go down, and that's still a lot of people really into that. And I am undetermined. I do think there's something going on, and I also think it's manufactured, like intelligent by design. Like everything else in this reality. So
I don't know what's going to happen, but I really believe that those of us that are on this journey are really going to find paradise. I just really, in my deepest seated heart, I really believe that, man. I really do believe it. And I live that way every day. I live as though things are getting better. And everywhere I go, people are saying, oh, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. The world's turning to shit, but I just don't believe it. I ain't buying into it. Not in my reality. No.
Nope.
My reality, things are getting better. Of course, I don't go out there that much either. I sort of stay, on the positive thing and stay kind of to myself. Because every time I do get out there, there is a lot of negativity, and you can get sucked back into that big black hole. My family, you've already heard, me talk about that. I mean, there's just people. There's the guy that'll cut you off and honk at you like you done something to him when he cut you off and ran the light. You know what I'm saying? You're like, why are you cussing me, dude? You're the one who ran the light. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, that happens all the time. Like, people are ridiculous. I'm like, are you serious, guy? I mean, you know what I mean? But I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I think we should do a show about that. The whole Nibiru and wormwood and the Bible, or all the related ancient Sumerian text, all that stuff. Because even though it is a little bit on the distraction side of things, I believe we could get a good message out and relate that to a lot of people that may have not heard that side of it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that'd be beneficial in the whole, for a lot of people.
Yeah. I sort of, like I say, I was really onto it, and I sort of kind of just like put that away because, like you with the alien stuff, how you've ate so much of it, and then you just get tired of it, and you're ready to do something else. You know what I mean? This deal here, this is a totally different thing, because I was always chasing not so much negative things, but just, I don't know, I guess you could say negative stuff. This here is different. This is something different. This is something that happened to me. It isn't something I went, looking for. It's all of a sudden something happened to me and it changed me. And then I had to find out what the hell is going on with me. You know what I mean? And it's like I felt alone until I got on YouTube and I started seeing there's other people who are waking up. There's other people, that are going through the same process, that are, just as, baffled, and just as, not really knowing what's happening with them. You know what I mean? They just know something's happening. And then you find the people who have already been there and they kind of guide you through. And then, then you become somebody who's guiding somebody else through, and that's where like we are. We're kind of helping those people through. We're not quite the gurus or these guys here, but, the people that are just getting their feet into this, just sticking their toes in this water, they're gonna resonate. Some of them are gonna find us and resonate with us, and that's how it's meant to be.
That's why I think there cannot be too many people talking and telling their truth, their story, because everyone's going to attract a different group of people. you know,
Yeah.
and everyone's going to resonate with different people. And, you know, I should have said this in the beginning of the video, like, you know, if it resonates with you, you know, good. I hope you get something out of it. But if it doesn't, you
Just
know,
move.
give it a chance and, you know, don't judge it. Don't judge right off the bat. But, you know, if it doesn't resonate with you, if we're not your kind of people, then just, you know, move on and find someone else that is. Because there's plenty of people talking these stories, telling these truths out there right now. Tons of
Exactly.
people.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so let's, so we were at my vision going forward, finding Case. Then, so I found Case, and then, you know, I had that distance healing session done with him. And that kind of really fast tracked a lot of things. So before I had the session, right when I found Case, I saw one of his, I binge watched like most of his videos within a couple of weeks. And
Yeah.
one of his videos,
Was you feeling it?
yeah, he was talking about, you know, like, you know, pretend there's like a hook on this hand, a hook on this hand, and, you know, there's
the rubber band. Yeah.
a little spider web, you know, work it around it, you know, ever so slightly, don't break that rubber band or that spider's web. And, you know, the first time I did it, you know, I was real close. And then when I pulled out to about this point, this hand went like, boop, like, you know, as I pulled away, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, what?
Yeah.
So I was hooked then, and I never stopped trying it.
It was always these two fingers when I could get it going good, and it seemed like I could do it with this finger here, and I could pull them suckers right there. But I don't do it as much now, but I can still feel it in there. It's not like it was though, because and that's what I was telling Case too. I was like, man, it was like, wow, wow. That's probably how you feel it right now. You know what I mean? You're like in you know, in zone. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's why I'm wanting to practice on. You know, I can't find bodies. You know, I talk to my sons, and they're like, "Oh man, no," you know, they're your age, and you know, they're just like, "Yeah, Dad, what about?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and Kim, you know, I've done her a few times, and she has like a melancholy. It's a happy, sad thing, you know, and it's real emotional for her, and so I don't want to put her through it, you know. Because she cries, you know, but it's good because she's happy. Also, some sad stuff. Yeah. So, and plus, I want something new for me. You know what I'm saying? A new victim.
Well, you know,
Somebody does that. You know?
When I first started wanting to, you know, work on people with these healings, that was the hardest part for me is figuring out what to say and how to say it, and the courage to actually say it to someone I didn't really know. You know, because I still had fear, I guess, at that time that I hadn't fully dealt with. I didn't know enough to be able to talk about this, you know, smoothly and consistently, and be able to tailor it to any kind of person like I can now, with relative ease. But, you know, at that time, that was a daunting task, and that drove me to learn and study even harder to figure out how to talk to people, how to tell them. Because if I can't ever tell them, then I'll never be able to do it. So I just kept working on pulling the frequencies through. I didn't really tell anybody about it. I didn't talk to anyone about it except for my brother. He can feel it in his hands too, but, you know, he doesn't really he doesn't have that same tenacity to learn, or you know, I don't think it's his path to really be a healer on a mass.
It's not his time yet.
But, you know, maybe it is, and just, you know, just hasn't got there yet. You don't know. You know, we're all still for our way, our purpose, purpose work. So, but I know that's what I'm supposed to be doing, and I feel it, and just have a knowingness about it. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that's what I'm meant to do, and I'm going to do it. And that's just how I've approached this, and that's how I continue to do it. So, and then, you know, doing you know, I worked into the YouTube channel, and I started my channel. I didn't really have any direction. I was kind of all over the place. I was really into like the Bible, and like the messages, the true messages, like what Jesus speaks of, and how I've related that to like even Nibiru and the Anunnaki and all that stuff is all in the Bible. If you read the Bible with that knowingness, it's amazing how you see that story unfold. It's
Oh yeah.
truly amazing, and that's how I read it. And
Yeah.
I started talking about that, but there's a lot of people that are talking about that, and that takes a certain type of individual, because you are going to be subject to severe attacks, like like
Oh yeah.
like violent right off the bat.
Yeah.
I had a little taste of that because I shared some of Global Witness's videos. And yeah, so we keep getting sidetracked. Where was I?
You're talking about your experience case, and
Yeah, case, and then I started a YouTube channel, and I had no direction, and that's where I went off on the tangent. So,
at least now you got direction.
This spiritual awakening is it's like climbing a mountain. There's no wrong way to climb the mountain.
Right.
There's also no one's going to take the same way. There's no two people are going to go the exact same way up the mountain. It's just not possible. You're just not going to. Even if you walk right next to each other, you're still on your own path. So that's we're all trying to get to the top, to the enlightenment, I guess you could say it is. And we each have our own path. We each are going to stumble. We're each going to fall, and that's okay. That's going to happen.
Help each other. Yeah.
And that's how you learn from it. There's a lot of false beliefs that have been instilled in us since birth that we have to transmute and get past, and that's a lot of stuff. So so I had no direction. I really didn't know what I wanted to do with the YouTube channel. I just knew I had to do it. Like I was going to do it. I was going to tell my story no matter who listened to it. If I helped one person, like, it's completely worth it to me. So, I started it, and I did a little bit of the getting into that whole thing, and I was just talking about but that just didn't feel like I'm not an expert in that, and I wasn't planning to become an expert in that. So I just let it go, and I moved more towards the frequencies, towards the healing, and towards learning more about your spiritual and your heart love, and that's what's led us to here now. Started the YouTube channel in December, around Christmas time, I think. Actually, it was the end of November when I started, but I didn't make a video until about Christmas time. It was the first time I posted.
Oh, really?
It was either the end of November or the end of December. I can't remember.
Yeah,
it hasn't been that long. That's just amazing.
I didn't have a direction. I was sort of just, that's why I sort of was just describing my experience with the reconnection. I thought, well, and I was also sort of like thinking, about maybe getting on Case's coattails. I knew he had a lot of people, and I thought, well, and nobody else was really talking about their experience. I don't know if people were like kind of scared to put themselves out there. I thought, I'm just gonna put my whole experience out there. I'm just gonna talk about it from the beginning before I even start it. I'm gonna make a video of it while I'm doing it. I'm gonna make a video of it afterwards, a month after, 2 months after, and kind of that way anybody who's thinking about doing it, maybe they can see how my life is changing, or the way I'm perceiving my life anyway.
That, and you have a video record for yourself, Yeah. You can go back and see what your mindset was a month or 2 or 3 ago, which I think is awesome. I like going back and watching my early videos because I can really truly appreciate how much I've changed in that short amount of time, especially with creating content, and how very different it is now, and how I can enter a flow state a lot easier now with a lot less effort than it was before. And before I edit a lot. Now if I'm editing, I'm cutting out, like, I'm coughing or making a weird sound or something. That's the only things I really cut out anymore.
Yeah. And that's nice. I mean, it's nice to get to where, and that's where I've sort of started, I've seen what hasn't worked, and I've seen what I didn't like, and I've seen myself just go off on these tangents, and just, that's what I used to edit out. I'd take a left, and here I go like 30 minutes talking about that, and then I'd take a right and go 45 minutes talking about, and the whole intention of what I was trying to talk about was like only 5 minutes long, you know. Everything else, I went everywhere else, you know. So now I'm actually, and I found that the last few videos, I'm sort of like doing it as I get inspired instead of, because what I would do is I would have a subject and I'd resonate on it for about a week, and I would take notes, and then when I would go to make the video, it was just too much crap that I'd already thought of, you know, and it got to be too big, you know. Every time my phone shuts off, because I've been using my phone, it shuts off every 10 minutes. And they go, boing. I'd be like, it's been 10 minutes already. Get up there and have to turn it back on. And it, boing. I was like, is it 10 minutes? After about 4 points, I'm like, damn, we're 40 minutes into it. I haven't said shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so now I'm like.
That's right. Like when I started this video, that's exactly what I said, wasn't it? I was thinking about, what am I going to say? And I was like, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to start it and do it. Because that's, you know, you think about it too much. That's when you start fumbling over your words, because you're like, oh, I wanted to say this, but I'm thinking you say it some way different now. And then weird combination of the two, and it comes out.
Let it roll, man. Yeah, let it roll. That way it's organic, you know.
Yeah.
That's the way I like it anyway. You know what I mean? You could probably tell by my channel, man, being real and keeping it real and just keeping it the way, you know, just, you know, that's the way I do it. So, and this is working for me too. You know, I love it.
Hell yeah.
But I'm starting to learn, you know, I'm really starting to learn, like, I don't want to say my brand, but, you know, but who I am and what I'm trying to, you know, I'm starting to figure out who I am and what my message is, you know what I mean? Because I really was kind of lost at first, and I think I'm really starting to hone into something, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you was talking about helping, and there's been a few people that I can tell that we've really, you and I, have really, it's helped them a lot, you know what I'm saying? And that's, like I told Kim, that's really all I really want to do. You know, at the end of the day, that's, you know, if I can help somebody, it's like pull somebody through and just kind of, you know, be of some kind of guidance, because a lot of people just don't know what the hell is going on with them. They're like, what is going on? You know, something's different. I know I feel different. I'm awake, but what do I do now? You know what I mean? So you just gotta swim. You just gotta go, man. You just gotta go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta jump in with both feet. You know, just leap, take that dive, and trust yourself. Man. You know, you have guidance. You will be okay. And still, you know, it's a long path. It's not easy. You're not going to shed all your fears of this lifetime overnight, or a week, or in a month, or in a year. You know, like
they're going to come
far, but there's still a lot of things I need work on. There's still a lot of things that I know I have issues with, and I'm still working on.
Yeah.
So it's a process, and we'll get through there. But I'm working it out through here. You and I talk a lot. We help each other out, I feel, and there's just, you know, and just in big things and in little things, as far as an issue with an individual, to, you know, what direction we're going to take the channel, or are we going to do this show, you know, like what do we name the show? And by the way, I forgot to say in the beginning too, go to Bonesy's channel, subscribe. I think you got 21 subscribers, 22.
Yeah.
22. I think as of today, I have 82 subscribers. So
I was going to tell you,
I expect at least like 30 or 40 of you to go over there and subscribe to Bonesy's channel. You know what? 33 is my main number. So I want 33 people to go subscribe to his channel.
There you go. You ought to offer something special. Get your 100. You ought to offer like a free session, or I don't know, something, you know, when you get to 100 subs, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know what you could, keychain, a t-shirt. There you go, free t-shirt, since we're designing t-shirts now.
Oh yeah, yeah. We got t-shirts out with this show. First round of them also. You know, I put it together, and I think it's a beautiful design, a beautiful picture, and I'm gonna put that link below, and hopefully I want us to order one, and then we can start wearing them for our shows too. You know, I think that'd be cool. Yeah. That'd be awesome. I've never made a shirt before, so I'm really excited about that.
Right.
Yeah, I did t-shirts, like I guess they're unisex t-shirts. I don't know. I did a couple colors, and then I did some hoodies, and some I think I did women's t-shirts also, and like a hoodie and a long sleeve shirt. So and a variety of colors with the banner background of what the show is going to be, which will be the thumbnail for the video. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Leave that in the comment section below. I'll do something like a free distance healing session for my 100 subscriber, and maybe I'll do a discount code for the next 18 people that subscribe to my channel. How about that? And get 100 quicker. I like that. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, and don't take yourself too damn serious. That's another thing everybody needs to know too. Is just have fun, man. I mean, you only got so many trips around the sun, and you can't worry about what people think. You can't worry about the small stuff, and you can't let people just bring you down, man. You got to just enjoy this life, enjoy it to the fullest, chase your enjoyment, have fun, man. I just can't stress that enough. I really can't. Especially this day and age. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's so many stressors. Just 2 hours ago, before we was doing this, when you texted me and said, "Hey, I'm about to I'll get a hold of you in a little bit, and we'll click on Zoom or whatever." I had two or three things that were just two or three people that were driving me nuts. I was so pissed at that time. I had steam coming out my ear. I was texting Kim, I'm trying to meditate. I don't even meditate in the middle. I usually meditate in the morning, you know what I mean? And just kind of start my day off. But if things go bad, man, I'll sit right down. I'll cross my legs. I'm sitting there breathing like Will Hoff. You see that dude, how he breathes? I'm like, it makes you feel better. You know what I mean? You feel better. It's like, because people will drive you nuts, man.
Yeah, they will, man. Yeah, I've caught myself going into the bathroom at work and just like sitting in the corner, just like doing the same thing. I'll lean up, I'll lean up against the baby changer thing and just kind of just chill there for like 10 minutes, breathe, and just collect myself because people are nuts.
Got to, man. And you got to let the shit go. You just got to let it go. And the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the easier it gets.
That's what I'm working on now is being able to observe my thoughts and not react to them, not immediately react to them. So to see them, observe them, and let them pass by and not judge or react, trying to get out of that fight or flight programming that we have, because someone says something that irritates you, you're automatically like raise up and go and be combative with people, and that'll escalate quickly, and that does not help either one of you in any way, shape, or form. Even if something happens or you get a good lick in or a good insult and you feel good in the moment, you're gonna feel like shit later because you just hurt that person. That person's your brother. That person is you. We are all connected. So no matter how you say or what you say, but around your friends, behind closed doors, I know that affects you. And even if you don't realize it does, don't think it does, it does. It absolutely affects you.
Right.
We carry that energy. All energy is consciousness. We carry it, and it kind of attaches to you. If you don't ever fully process it, it just sticks with you, and that's what we're going through now. We have to transmute all that.
Yeah.
So that's why if you're getting a thought that keeps reoccurring in your mind, that like a random thought comes up that you're not even thinking about, that I think we lost them. Oh, there we are. Okay, so if a random thought pops up in your head for no reason, that you're not thinking about it, it just pops up like truly random, that is there because you have to deal with it. So you have to sit in that, feel that energy, that emotion, whatever emotion you have tied to that experience, feel it. Feel it all the way through and sit with it. Even if it's anger, if it pisses you off, feel it. You got to feel it all the way through. And once you do, it'll just kind of go away,
Yeah.
Trust me, if you don't feel it all the way through, when it goes away, it'll come right back. So
Yeah.
that's how you know if it works. Because if it doesn't, if it comes back, you still got some more processing to do.
Yeah.
Um, I learned that quick, and the weird thing is no one told me about that. I just kind of knew intuitively because I had a lot of issues with old horror movies like The Exorcist and even the new ones like Insidious. Little demon kids freaked me out, man. So
Yeah.
I had to sit with that and really experience that and transmute that into something that didn't bother me, because I would have visions, like not really visions, but that thought would pop into my head, and the thought where that little kid like just comes up in the dark, and then all of a sudden he touches the table and the whole everyone at the table goes flying. Like I would have that thought, like he was like right next to me in bed and touched my bed, and we all just flew off the bed. Like that was the kind of shit I thought of when that was coming up. So I was like, man, that was probably the hardest. That and The Exorcist were the two. Oh, and Pet Cemetery. That.
They're all crazy.
I was like 5 years old when I saw those movies. That is not for a 5-year-old.
Not good. Not good. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Terrorize the kids. Yeah.
Yeah. So once I got by that, I was able to really open up a lot of things, and get rid of a lot of fear, really, because that was holding me back on so many things, especially with spiritual things and like what I thought I had experienced with ghosts in my younger years. Also, I was scared of it because of those movies, and there was nothing to be afraid of with any of it. But that was just me and what everyone was telling me, because I was listening to other people. Because you're 5, you don't have a choice. You got to do what your parents tell you because you don't know any better. You don't know any different. So, So once I can't, like, I know kids today are going to be completely different. They're going to have abilities and they're going to grow up with that knowingness. So, by the time they're teenagers, like Case's kids, they can all do the healing. And I think his youngest is like 5 years old, 4 or 5.
I know, man. I know it.
The kids are more connected with source. They haven't, and especially Case's kids, because they haven't been in this false belief and these false, programs. So that's what I want. And I got so far to go with that with my kids, but they're only 4 years old. I'm not really stressing about it. I know there's a divine plan. There's divine guidance. Everything will work out the way it's supposed to, the way it's meant to, the way I planned it before I came into this life. So I'm done stressing about it, and I just let it work out, and I experience the experiences as they come. And I still get angry. I still get frustrated. I still have stress and anxiety over a few things, not nearly as many as I used to, but that's the progress. That's the path. That's the journey that we all have to do. So with us sharing our experiences, I hope that you guys get something out of this video, that something resonates with you that may help you to do that. And also, I'm setting up a Patreon account to where I think I'm gonna start offering like a spiritual guidance kind of deal. If you need someone to help you with anything, or to get you on a fast track path, or just to help you, talk through experiences with you and how to deal with it. Ultimately, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to tell you what worked for me and suggest different things for you to do. But that's a little more one-on-one personal touch than the general that I'm speaking to, like the general masses in my videos. So I could tailor it a little more to the individual's needs, and I'm going to charge something for it, but it won't be nothing I'm doing is going to be outrageous or unaffordable for the average person, because that defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do. But at the same time, I want to do this full time, and I do, and am going to need to
move into this.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to transition in, and I don't need a whole lot of money to operate. So that's a good thing.
Well, at least you're willing to sleep in your car.
Yeah. I mean, I've slept in worse places.
I know it. That's how we are too, man. We'll sleep in our van. I mean, we'll sleep in the truck. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, we got a house, but I mean, when we get on the road, man, we don't care. We're not, we're tough like that. Kim's tough as hell. We'll be camping and stuff, and we'll be out 2 or 3 weeks, and it's raining. I'm looking at her just waiting on her to break. because I'm about to break, and she never breaks. I'm like, damn, this girl's tough. You know what I mean? Like, you getting cold, baby? You ready to, go get a motel room or something? You know what I mean? The water's rushing into our tent. She's like,
Oh,
I'm good. Good.
damn. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why you married her, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Crazy, man.
That's
Yeah,
awesome, man.
but
Yeah, I'd love to go on one of them trips with you, man. I'm trying to outfit my my old Toyota to with like a solar panel and a lithium battery, so I can
yeah, yeah.
run devices, charge my laptop and cameras and all that stuff. So I do want to travel, and I could sleep in the car. It's a wagon, so there's plenty of room.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
I'd be so happy doing that. I can't even tell you.
Oh,
Like
I know it.
like I've been living out of a suitcase for over a year by choice, not like I just
Yeah.
don't. I have no attachment to anything.
Yeah.
I
It's a good
love
way to
my
be.
computer and my phone because that's how I get my information, and that's how I give my information. So that's
Right.
really all I need. And really,
Yeah.
you can do it all from your phone. I mean, that's what you're doing anymore. So
Yeah. Well, you don't want to be attached to every single thing. That's what I was telling her, because the garage is full. We've been emptying it out because we've been talking about selling the house, and we changed our mind. But it's time to get rid of shit because every single thing is a chain that's attached to you. It's just another chain. You have to babysit this shit. You
yes,
literally have to sit around, and you can't leave because somebody might steal all this crap. You don't need all this crap. You know what I mean? You don't need it, man. But after so many years, you just accumulate so much stuff.
yes,
But yeah, we're about to lighten our load. But I would like to get into this, like you're talking about. You know what I mean? And facilitate healings or whatever, and live on the cheap and just kind of like move around. Similar to what Case is doing, really.
yeah.
That's a dream come true, really. If you
Yeah,
can do that.
that would be. That is my dream. That's what I want to do. That's what I am going to do. That's
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. I just
Yeah.
haven't got there yet.
Yeah,
But
you've got to say it. You got to speak it. If you want it to come true, you have to just push everything you got into it. Push it, push it, push it. Push the universe around, man.
yeah, I keep seeing
That's how
this.
I am. I want to push my will.
I keep seeing this ad that keeps popping up on my YouTube videos. It says the universe is extremely willing to play with you if you're willing to play with it.
Yes.
So true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The second you open up and release things to the universe,
Yeah.
your life will
And
change.
another thing is when you start to believe that anything can happen, oh my God, things happen. Crazy things. And we'll do that on another show.
Yeah.
Just
Oh
crazy
yeah.
stuff that's happened. I've had stuff like science fiction stuff, dude. I'm talking about just people just probably don't even believe me. I mean, but I know it happened. And sometimes I ask myself, was that your imagination? And I know my imagination. My imagination's crazy. If it's my imagination, it would be crazier than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's real stuff. And it's like sometimes I'll ask her, like, do you think I'm going crazy? I mean, do you? And she sometimes she just looking at me like, I don't think so.
I don't know for sure, but I don't think so. And
yeah, honey, you're not too convincing. You know what I mean? But yeah. So yeah, we got to talk about some stuff like that, because once you start to push on those walls and knock down them walls, man, you start believing things can happen. Things start to happen, and once you see one thing happen, you're like, holy shit, did that just happen? I mean, dude, I got a list of crazy, crazy things, crazy, and the next thing happens, and you start believing. Once you start believing, oh my God, man, like the veils. Just like the veil's being removed,
yep.
You're seeing stuff. You're like, wow. So it's got me convinced that in the future, man, I don't know what we're going to be doing and the kind of powers we're going to have, but it ain't going to stop here. It's going to get good. It's going to get really good.
Just the beginning, and we already have freaking superpowers. Like this is awesome.
Yeah,
but
I know it.
I don't know how long we've been recording, so I'm going to end it here. Just stay on here after we say bye, because
all right,
I'll talk to you. Okay. But all right, guys, thanks for joining us today. This is the first show of many that we're going to bring to you of this series of Behind the Veil. Thanks for joining us again. Like, share, subscribe to our channels. You know, you're here on Conscious Evolution.
Especially mine.
Go to Bonesy's. The link will be below. Like his videos. Subscribe to his channel. And like I said, 33 subscribers. I'm going to hold 33 of you to it. The next 18 people that subscribe to my channel, I'll send you some kind of discount code for the t-shirts that we're going to be offering. And the 100th subscriber will get a free distance healing session from me for 20 to 30 minutes, depending how I feel. But let's get this thing going, man. I'm super excited. You know, be the change that you want to see in this world. Everything starts with you. You know, embody the change, be the person that you want to see, and you will reflect that person out into the universe, and it'll change your life. It'll change everyone's life that you encounter. This stuff is powerful. It is real. It works. And I hope to be the testament to that and to show you and walk my path while showing you our stories, and hopefully that gives you incentive to do the same thing. All right. Love and light to each and every one of you.
Guys.
Say bye, Bonesy.
I love you guys. And like, share, and subscribe, and just know that I love you. And thanks, Jenny, for my Moldavite. I'm wearing it right now. And I got a real interesting story about this. We'll do on the next show. Crazy. Another crazy story.
We should just do a show of crazy stories. Crazy story show. I like it. All right, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.